Yo, YouTube, trying to fix my truck. This is Navara with timing chain issue. Did a short about it, don't know if you saw it. But I'm underneath it right now, as you can see. I've got one jack at the back, another jack at the front. I don't know if you can see. I've got two jacks in there. And then taking the gearbox bolts out to slide this monster box. Because that's like transfer bit at the back of it, look. Right, hard to see, but so you got shaft at the back, and then it goes all the way along, all the way to here. So we've got that bit. We're trying to split that just to get two 10mm bolts out, and two 10mm bolts stop that silver sump pan from coming down. There's some inside it as well. So we're just trying to. Right, so I managed to get those bolts out. See, there's a hole there where that rib is. You can see the cylinder and the cast. Another one there, that pointy uppy lobe unit. So I've got them both out, but I fibbed when I said that was the last one to get, because I've actually forgotten. When you take the starter motor out, which is down here, still got my flywheel crank holder, which is this piece of angle iron. I'll take this out. That's where the starter motor joint. And Nissan, really sneakily, can you see that bolt head there? So there's only one that goes in the other way. Far from the end of the world though, because that one up there, get extensions on that. Put them lying on. I'm find where I put that 14mm socket again. It's one thing about me, I'm always looking for the tool I last used, because I like to put the spanner in here, I'll grab that. Can you see it? So, somewhere there must be a socket, but where it is I don't know. I'll get back to you when I find it. Right, so I found it. Let's see if we can get this. It's all the way up there, but I think what we'll do is we'll put this on first. See what it's like. There somewhere. If I just lay this on the floor a moment. Right, so got it on. Don't know if you can see it. There you go. The battery's running out of my gun. I'll put it down again. We'll replace technology with manual hand tools, because it's far better. So if I just crack this off. Right, there we go, that's cracked off. Oh, beat my phone up with a bit on the edge. It's not really me head, I hit with it. Right, so now that it's cracked off, and the bolts come out, which is what we want. There's another one. So now there should be no more gearbox bolts in whatsoever, other than the loose ones are lifting at the bottom just to be safe. And the gearbox is still held real easy. So we'll just whip this one out. Could use my gun, but that's not so loose anyway. That's that one. And then that's that one. So that is the gearbox. So what we've got is it there, so hopefully it will slide back, even though it's in that little cuppy bit there, because there's a ridge where my finger is and where my thumb is. But obviously we can pull it back a bit with a ratchet strap, because I'm going to put a ratchet strap around that very rear member behind that jack, that next one. I don't know if you can still see it. Up there, there's that member. So what you do is you put the ratchet strap hooks on that, and then you run them to that one in a triangle. So you've got a hook. The hook goes on here somewhere, and the hook goes on there somewhere, and then you run the strap round and you put the ratchet strap in between this subframe rail and that back subframe rail, and then when you ratchet up it will pull the whole thing back. I mean, if you had the right studded rod, you could probably put studded rod into here and it would come out a lot further. Like, come out, studded rod in here, and it would come out a lot further, and you could just slide it back and leave it on the rod. And if you put 4 in at the top, or 2 on each side or something, then you can hold the whole thing up and just slide it back, and then when you slide it back in, you know it's all going to still line up nicely, which is pretty cool. Because obviously we pitched the engine downwards so that we could get to the top one, so that back jack is taking the most of the weight. This is just aiding it, so hopefully it shouldn't pull it over. I made a little bit of RSJ and cut a block of wood in it just to make my jack go a bit more, because that's actually for my little Toyota Corolla, and the height this is off the floor. Normal jacks don't work, so the Nissan one they give you is really good. And they also give you a long T-bar, so you don't actually have to get under the vehicle. You see the hole in the back of it there, and then they give you this, which has got a square drive in it, which goes on the end of that bar, so you've actually got like a handle that you can twist around that point. And the other cool tip about this is the end of this, which is like a tyre levery thing, right, is absolutely brilliant for getting the pulley off, because it's got that rounded back on it. You can sort of gently wedge it in and ease the pulley off as you, the crank pulley off. So really helped, really nice tip. But yeah, so I'm going to crack on with sliding this gearbox back. I might come back and show you a little bit of the ratchet strap orientation, so that somebody else can do this at home on their drive, because paying a mechanic to do it is a lot of money. And if you've got free time like I do, then you should do it at home, because you expand your mind and your abilities and learn about it. So I took its engine apart so I could safely say I could build somebody else's, as long as it was the same sort. And if it wasn't, there's some little things you got to remember, like if you work on balancer shafts on the D40 or something and you have to separate them, they need to be preloaded before they go back together and stuff. But you know, you'd have to look up the information. I'm not going to tell you it because I don't know it off by heart, and I don't want to tell you it wrong. So, but yeah, that's the plan. I'll get back to you in a bit. Rightio. So, go back under the car. As you can see, I have one hook, which is for the tail end of the ratchet strap, and that ratchet strap has gone over that centre one to the back, just looped round, comes all the way back, and then I've looped it over like that on that side, so it's pulling it. You can see I've jacked it back, ratcheted it up, and it's gone. Right, so that's where the hole should be. That's how far I pulled it back. So then over here, I'm looking at front over and line and all. Move these gearbox bolts to next to the wheel where I put all the bolts, because it's a lot easier to keep control of them like that rather than rely on them. Although I'm a bit slack because it's a bit of a mess under here. There's more gearbox bolts. Right, so now when we get to here, I don't know if you can see it now. I'll try and get the camera in the right place. It's pretty dark in there actually, isn't it? Right, you see that gold little circle just there? That's one of those horrible little 10mm, and the other one is just there over the other side. You've got to get them to get the sump to come down. So it's a little bit of a small gap still. I mean, that's my finger. So you can see them in there, that's tiny. So what we'll do is this, if you look at this jack, it's leaning back a bit. So I'm just going to give it a little tap at the bottom, try and get it straighten up a little. Try and get the right angle. You see it's kind of leaning back. Yeah, so we got that there, so if I if I get back on the ratchet strap, I don't know if you can see my hand. So just click this with my thumb. Look, we've got a gap already. Oh wait, that's inside the sump. Where's the camera on it there? Alright, so now we can see right in there. Got enough room to put near enough my whole hand in it now, or my fingers anyway, which is plenty just to get to there. And that other one, so I don't know if you can see. Oh man, I really need to practice with the camera. Yeah, one there, one there, one up there, and one there. So I'll pause it, undo them. Right, so there's little 10 mils successfully out. Hold on, why is it not focusing? Focus, you press. There we go. Alright, 1, 2, out. I just literally got that battery. There's the freaking 10 mil on it. Got them out of there. Look. Now you see the hole? It's real easy to see now. Look, see right the way through to the top. Look at that. And then we've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in there. Oh, and the dipstick needs to come out, and then that diff will come off, and you can kind of just see up there, there's a crankshaft and whatnot. Hopefully there's nothing gone wrong with that, because that's where I was last. So yeah, I'll just drop this sump off, and then I'll show you, give you guys all a good look. But just don't forget about them, because he was swearing like I was the first time I tried to take it off. Nice of them, really nice of Nissan to do that. Fortunately, they do tell you about it in the manual, which is good too. So get a manual. Right, so I've got all them bolts out with the sump. Don't know if you can see, it's got camera the other way around, so I'm not very good at it. So I'll do this. Oh yeah, don't take that off. It's quite important. So, yeah, and then obviously the alternator bracket and all that has to come off too before you can take sump 2. If you're at this point, you probably know that. And then on these, up here, if you can see, just slowly turn over up here, where this dowel is, there's like a nice little groove to get your screwdriver in. Don't try and pry it down, literally put your screwdriver in and twist it. You can hear the sealant breaking. And then grab it on the other side, rock it about, as long as you don't miss one, which doesn't feel like I have, unless there's one around the back. Right. Just trying to fill it off the dipstick tube, because I didn't take it out first, and the starter motor was rested on it, so it made a bit of noise. Then the really fun bit is trying to get this out because of this bar. So what I worked out is, you can get the front over to the passenger side if you're in the UK. And it could be driver's side in America, but I'm sure you have a much bigger engine if you live in America. So yeah, if you can get this start motor up out the way a bit, get it just to hook on the chassis rail or an oil cooler or something, just so it's hanging, and then you sort of have to get the side. Sorry, yeah, to the passenger side, right over as far as you can, and then you have to push the engine up, because we bent it back. You have to push it up a bit just to clear. I don't know if you can see, but I don't know if you can see, but here, just look, cleared it. You see, cleared it, and then. So the sump is now in this weird orientation. Don't know if you can see the angle of it, that's not very good. So there's the gearbox, look. Which way have I got to go? It's in reverse. Right, so going right over to the passenger side at the front. Let me hand isn't, sorry. Right at the front there. And then you got this weird little, it's really hard to see with this damn screen. I've got to sort some stuff out to get a better view. But yeah, so there's a hump where the power steering pump fits on. I don't know if you can see that there. And that's got to go over that. So you have to make sure that you can clear the box here. Let you see, sump's down, gearbox is there. It's really tight on that lobe for that bolt there. So that's where you got to get it. Once you get it like this, after pushing the engine up, if I lie this on me, like on my chest like this, you can kind of see. You can twist it around and then just hold the engine up a bit. Get that. Oh, it's right tricky. There we go. Take it even further, so it's almost at 90 degrees. It's almost, the sump almost runs the same way as the wheels to get that out. And then the sump's removed, and I didn't have to take that steering bar off. It's pretty good. So got that out of there with only that gap, and it is doable because I've just done it. I showed you. So we get this up now. The other good thing is there's no metal in here, so I couldn't have done that much damage from that grinding of that chain, because it hasn't made any evidence of any damage, which is really good news. I'm well happy about that. So I can't remember which way to start. It was this way or not. It might be upside down at bits of it. That's what happens when you're trying to do a car job and film at the same time, and you're not very good at multitasking. So welcome to my world. I will get better for you guys though, as my equipment improves, and the more I do it, the more the quality of my videos will improve. So, and obviously with your guys' help, if you want to help me, I'll be able to improve even faster. So I'll have to set up a Patreon or something. I think my girlfriend Hayley's setting up a GoFundMe for the goats and stuff, which is on Swally and Max's farm. So yeah, so just giving these line under here, just giving these rod bearings a good shake, make sure everything's tight under here, nothing's loose. So there's nothing to do with the con rod or the main bearings, because the first time this one here, I don't know if you can see this one and this one, the bolts had stretched, and if you notice, I've got Allen key bolts. These are not stock, these are 12.9 grade. I ordered off Amazon, got 10 of them for like 12 quid or something, probably more cheaper than the actual original ones were. Oh, I've got some seen on there, and they're the original ones with these horrible sheet hooks, multi-spline, squared, ribe bits, whatever they're called, I can't remember the name. But yeah, they're a bit funny. So it's not conrod noise, it's not main bearing noise, which is what we think. And this is what I was talking about. I don't know if you can see this because I can't see the screen at the minute. But here, this tiny protrusion, you can see somebody's been in, probably me, been in before and smashed a bit of the webbing off. Well, it's better if somebody's already done it before because they know these little things. That's just learning though. Make mistakes and we fix them. And then that's just part of the parcel. I'll just quickly scrape some of this gunk off. RTV sealer. Could use Holomar or something, but it's a bit dearer. I do like it a lot more than this RTV, but it doesn't come with a lovely applicator like the RTV does. And you just twist it and you can change the flow and everything. Now it'll win me over that bit. Yeah, and be careful not to bend that plate, because bending that plate, see it's not lined up right now because it's pulled back, so it's stuck on the top and flaring out at the bottom. Try not to bend that, because that can be really very irritating to try and get your gearbox back on if that's bent, because you can't get your bolts through. Never hit them in. Always put a screwdriver or a heel bar with a spiked end in and wiggle it around to try and line it up before anything's tight. And you can see that dipstick, I really should have took it out.